Oh boy, we're back at it again, and I know I couldn't be happier. That's right, it's time for yet another no restrictions best team, and this time we're headed to Sinnoh, with a team built for Platinum where we hardly let anything hold us back. Some stuff still will, of course, like post-game moves and whatnot, but not too terribly much. If you're unfamiliar with no restrictions, it means we're going to have egg moves where applicable, we're going to have legendary Pokemon, and we're going to have trade evolutions. If you could feasibly do it before beating the champion, it's on the table. I don't think there's much else to go over, you guys know the best teams by now, so let's get started. Oh, wait, hang on. There's something I do want to talk about. Today, over on MysticSage, I have a review of the newest episode of My Hero Academia Season 5. If you're interested in that, check out the description for a link over to Sage. The review should be out not long after this video goes live. Well, we've got to get started with the team in the only way we know how, and that is with the best starter of the group in Sinnoh, the flame Pokemon, Infernape. That's right, we all know that it definitely is the best of the group in modern day Pokemon, but even back then, it was still better than the others. Infernape has base 104 in attack and special attack, and a very nice base 108 speed. Infernape is strong and fast, and that's really what makes it so great. Again, it gets a lot better in future generations thanks to a few new moves, and the hidden ability Iron Fist. But in Platinum, it works as a great successor to Generation 3's Blaziken as a fire fighting type. You'll start off with the Chimchar as your starter, and at level 14, you'll end up with Monferno. And then finally, at level 36, you're going to have yourself that Infernape. Now, let's take a look at how useful it'll be when you're going through the Sinnoh region. The moves I've got set up for Infernape to roll with are Close Combat, Flare Blitz, Grass Knot, and Stone Edge. I've gotta say, Flare Blitz and Close Combat are some incredibly awesome physical moves introduced for the fighting and fire types in Gen 4, and it's lucky for Infernape to be able to take advantage of both of those moves. We start with Close Combat, which you will learn at level 41. And in the meantime, you've got a good priority move like Mach Punch to serve as the fighting type move for this fella. Next, we've got Flare Blitz, which is learned at level 57. And it is actually the final level up move that Infernape gets. You can use a myriad of other fire type moves while waiting for level 57 to show up. So take your pick and roll with it. Next is Grass Knot, and that's a TM you can get from defeating Gardenia. It's great coverage for the ground and water types that threaten Infernape so much. The final move is Stone Edge, and that TM is found within Victory Road. And it is good coverage for any flying types you encounter during your Elite Four challenge. So with these moves, Infernape does well against Gardenia's entire team, Malin's Lucario, Crasher Wake's Quagsire and Floatzel but be careful, Byron's entire team, Candace's entire team, Cyrus's Weavile and Houndoom, Barry's entire team but watch out with Empoleon, Aaron's entire team except Drapion, Bertha's entire team except Gliscor, all of Flint's Pokemon except his Infernape, Lucian's Bronzong, and finally Cynthia's Togekiss, Roserade, and Lucario. As you can see, Infernape is fantastic against the Elite Four and during a number of gym battles as well. The fact that you could sweep Barry's team with it is pretty awesome too, and it honestly further proves that Infernape is a dominant force. So let's move on now to another fantastic Pokemon that came from Sinnoh, the one that I chose as the best regional bird in a video I did a while back that you guys definitely should go check out. Oh, the Pokemon is Staraptor. This is such a great flying type that really blew Pokemon like Pidgeot, Noctowl, and Swallow out of the water, and set a standard for future early bird Pokemon. Now, to be fair, they dropped the ball a bit with Unfezant and Toucannon, but Talonflame and Corviknight are all really great Pokemon that are right behind Staraptor in greatness. Staraptor is just super good, and I had to include it on this team thanks to how early you get it and how helpful it'll be during your challenge. You can get your hands on Starly right away when you get Pokeballs. And finally, at level 34, you've got Staraptor, with 120 base attack and 100 speed. It's a great flying type to have on your side and will provide major firepower throughout a Let's Play. The moves that Staraptor has are Fly, Brave Bird, Close Combat, and Return. This is an incredibly hard-hitting moveset, and it's a full moveset you can get before you even reach the Elite Four. Fly is an HM, and it's going to help you get around the region while also offering an extra flying type option if you want to turn to it in battle. You get the HM for that in the Galactic Warehouse, and can use it immediately after beating Maylene. The next move is Brave Bird, and it is the final move Staraptor learns by level up. It's an incredibly strong flying type move that has some recoil but is super good. And while you wait to get it, you can always run Aerial Ace and have a good move to serve as backup until then. Close Combat is next, and man is it absolutely awesome that Staraptor can even get this move. It's one of the big things that really sets it apart from other flying types, as it'll tear through rock and ice types and can hit tons of other typings for great damage. It learns it at level 34, so right around when you're evolved, you'll have that great move. Finally, we have got Return, a favorite move of mine, and one that provides strong stab damage on a Pokemon that you'll find yourself using throughout your journey. You get the TM for Return right at the start of things in Sand Gem Town. Now that is a great change they made with Platinum. So with these moves, Staraptor will be able to do well against Gardenia's entire team, Malian's Meditite and Machoke, Byron's entire team, Canis's entire team but be careful, Cyrus's Weavile and Houndoom, Barry's entire team except Rapidash and his Staraptor, Aaron's Yanmega, Heracross and Vespiquen, Bertha's Rhyperior and Golem but be careful, Flint's Infernape and Houndoom, Lucian's Gallade, and Cynthia's Roserade and Lucario. There's a lot of overlap between Infernape and Staraptor's usefulness, but that flying type will make up for a few places Infernape doesn't hit for super effective damage. Staraptor is well worth having a spot on this team, and you'll love using it for sure. Alright, so next up, we've got ourselves a water type, and it's a Pokemon I feel used to be really loved and has become a little overlooked the last couple of gens. It got a Mega in X and Y, but aside from that, nobody ever really talks about Gyarados anymore, it feels like. You can get your hands on Magikarp super early as you get the old route in Jubilife City. You just gotta search some water for a little bit and you'll reel up a Magikarp in no time. You'll have to probably switch train for a while until finally it hits level 20, and you end up with the powerful Gyarados as payout for your hard work. Gyarados is a damn solid Pokemon, and it ends up with base 125 attack and 100 special defense, so you will have a specially bulky physical attacker for your journey that can take some hits and slam out powerful water damage. Surf, Waterfall, Ice Fang, and Earthquake are the 4 moves we've got on Gyarados. And yeah, I know what you might be thinking. Gyarados is a physical attacker, but I have got Surf on here since you're going to need it to get around the region anyway, so you may as well have a somewhat good move on Gyarados anyway, even if it is a special move. You get the HM for Surf in Celestic Town from Cynthia's grandmother, so it'll be about halfway through your gym challenge. The next one is Waterfall, and that's a great physical water type move for Gyarados, and it'll be helpful for you as it is an HM, so it's necessary to have. You get that HM from Jasmine in Sunny Shore City, which means it'll play a big role in the Elite Four. You'll get Ice Fang at level 32, and it'll work as good coverage for a few different typings, like Dragon and Grass. And considering the fact that Gyarados doesn't have a flying type move at all in Platinum, I think it fits as a good backup move. Finally, we've got Earthquake, which I believe in Platinum, you're able to get it a bit earlier than in Diamond and Pearl, since you get it in the Wayward Cave, but from the entrance where you would normally need Strength. Now, this is a super early point to get it, as you have access to this cave after getting your second gym badge, so having Earthquake almost as soon as you get Gyarados is huge. It'll be great coverage for electric types, I know that for sure. So with these moves, Gyarados will be able to do well against Malin's Lucario, Byron's entire team, Volkner's entire team but watch out big time, Cyrus's Houndoom, Honchkrow, and Crobat, Barry's Staraptor, Rapidash, Roserade, and Empoleon, Aaron's Vespiquen, Drapion, and Yanmega, Bertha's entire team except for Whiscash, but watch out for rock types, Flint's entire team, and Cynthia's Roserade, Garchomp, Lucario, and Togekiss. Gyarados fits any role that a water type would in these battles, and arguably the most important thing it'll be able to handle is Cynthia's Garchomp, as it has that Ice Fang move, which should be able to one-shot a Garchomp thanks to being ×4 effective. Gyarados is an awesome beast, and will serve well in a playthrough of Platinum for sure. You guys probably aren't going to believe me, but oh, it is damn true. Alakazam continues to make its way onto a best team with no restrictions, as it is just tried and true power that fits almost every time. You guys already know about how good it is though, so I don't need to worry down with that. You can actually get a Kadabra on Route 215, which is right outside of Veilstone City. You can immediately evolve it. So yeah, you'll have Alakazam. That's pretty cool. So the moveset on Alakazam is sort of what you'd expect it to be, mostly. We've got Psychic, Focus Blast, Shockwave, and Calm Mind. So if Psychic, you'll learn that via TM or level up. You can either buy it in the Veilstone Game Corner or go ahead and wait until level 40 to learn it. Then there is Focus Blast, which you'll buy in the Veilstone Department Store. Real simple stuff there. Then we have Shockwave, which I chose for just some sort of different coverage, since I needed a third move on Alakazam and didn't really have a good one to go with since I put Shadow Ball on something else that we'll talk about in a little bit. You can find that on the same route that you capture Kadabra, as a matter of fact. Then we have Calm Mind, learned at level 36, which can make Alakazam all the more strong. So with these moves, Alakazam can do well against Maylene's entire team, Crasher Wake's Floatzel and Gyarados, Fantina's Haunter, Byron's entire team, Canis's entire team except for Frostlass, Cyrus's entire team, Barry's entire team except for Rapidash, Aaron's Yanmega, Heracross, and Vespiquen, Bertha's Golem and Rhyperior, Flint's Infernape and Houndoom, and Cynthia's Togekiss, Roserade, Lucario, and Milotic. That's an awful lot of coverage provided by Alakazam, and many strong Pokemon that it can take out thanks to its access to Psychic and Focus Blast. It remains such a tried and true option on these best teams, and the only thing that will stop it when we do the next one is not being in black and white. Alright, we move on now to another trait evolution I decided to use on this team. This one is a Pokemon introduced in the 4th generation as part of that mass addition of evolutions to previous generation Pokemon. I chose to go with Dusknoir as it offers some stupendous coverage that works out well in the 4th generation. The Reaper Cloth is something you won't get until after you beat Candace. But thankfully, using Dusclops on its own before getting it to evolve is a fine option for a while. You can capture Duskull in the Lost Tower, and at level 37, it'll evolve into Dusclops. It's a really bulky mon, so it can take a lot of hits for you while you train it, and it'll just be nice to have a ghost type to turn to during this adventure, trust me. So that's that, but what moves will Dusknoir be using after you evolve it? Well, this is going to be pretty simple. It's almost a shame that Dusknoir doesn't have Iron Fist for an ability, as his moveset was basically made for that. It's got all the elemental punches, and of course, Shadow Punch. The elemental punches are learned from using heart scales you can get in the underground to remember the moves in Pastoria. Then we have Shadow Punch, which is learned at level 37 when Duskull becomes Dusclops. So, using those moves, Dusknoir is able to do well against Fantina's entire team, Byron's Magneton and Steelix, Canis's entire team, Cyrus's entire team except for Houndoom, Barry's Staraptor, Roserade, Heracross, and Empoleon, Aaron's entire team except for Drapion, Bertha's entire team except for Whiscash, Lucian's entire team, and Cynthia's entire team except for that damn Spiritomb. There is some real domination here in the later game by Dusknoir, and that coverage is exactly why it's here. However, I'm sure you guys might be wishing you had some more coverage, this time from a special attacker. Well, don't you guys worry, because I have got you covered. I have one last trait evolution here, and man, it's one you've got to trade twice. I'm talking about the greatness that is Porygon-Z. So to get this thing, you'll need to of course acquire Porygon from a random guy in Veilstone, and then you'll need to find an upgrade. You can find that in the Team Galactic Eterna building, and then in Team Galactic's HQ, you can get the Dubious Disc. Then you'll evolve it probably at the same time you're evolving Dusclops in the Dusknoir. And with that, you've got a hard-hitting Pokemon for the final stretch of the game. We already handle pretty much everything else in the game with the other 5 Pokemon, so look at Porygon-Z as the relieving pitcher that comes in for mopping things up when your team has already scored a ton of runs. So the move pool here is Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Signal Beam, and Shadow Ball. So with Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, you can acquire both of those from the game corner, and then Signal Beam is learned at level 29. Finally, there is Shadow Ball, which is learned via TM that can be obtained on Route 210. So with these moves, Porygon-Z will be able to do well against Crasher Wake's Gyarados and Floatzel, Canis's entire team except for Piloswine, Cyrus's entire team except for Houndoom, Barry's Staraptor, Roserade, and Empoleon, Aaron's Yanmega and Vespiquen, Bertha's entire team except for Whiscash, Lucian's entire team, and Cynthia's entire team except for Lucario and Spiritomb. Like I said, Porygon-Z doesn't bring too much other than strong stats to this team, but it's mostly just for cleaning up behind the rest of this dominant squad. I'm real glad I was able to include it. Alright, that's gonna wrap up this best team. It was nice to go through Platinum with so few restrictions, and I'm looking forward to doing Black and White next time, having all those Univin Pokemon at my disposal. Be on the lookout for that, and throw a like on this one. I'll see you guys with the next one soon. So with that said, thank you to everyone for watching the video. Huge thanks to my phenomenal team, and the amazing art done each week by Danny the Demon. I couldn't do all this without them. If you all enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Be sure to leave a comment too, as it really helps us out. I also do other content on my Twitch, where I stream Genshin Impact, Mystic Zora, where I do Pokemon Let's Plays and other gaming content, and of course MysticSage, where I do all anime content. Right now, I'm focusing on Inuyasha and Yashahime, so if you're interested in that, be sure to check it out. If you'd like to support me even further than that, check out my Patreon. Whether it's a $1 tip to get early thumbnail access, or the $10 tier to get cool perler bead charms and a shoutout. There's tons of reasons to join today. These lovely people did, and I thank them all so much for their support. It really means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Umbreon, and I will see you all next time with some more amazing Pokemon content.